So, hallo Freunde der Spielkultur, immer noch im Live-LP, nachts unterwegs. Und jetzt können wir endlich die Theaterbühne aufschließen und können vielleicht hier runter und können Dr. Swansea retten.
I cannot enter.
Oh. Ich wollte eigentlich nur nach dem Weg fragen und da hat der Sauhund mich einfach angegriffen.
It's locked, all right. It's locked.
Die Bruderschaft von St. Paulus Stola hat endlich zugestimmt, sich in London mit mir zu treffen. William Marshalls Memorien. Sie hat ein Treffen in der neuen St. Pauls-Kathedrale vorgeschlagen. Der Geist und die Ernsthaftigkeit dieser Männer gefallen mir, wie symbolisch, den Ort zu wählen, an dem ich dieses Desaster besiegt habe. Und an dem ich gefallen bin. Ich habe ihrem Vorschlag zugestimmt. Dort in der heiligen Stille der Kirche und unter den Augen Gottes hörten sie mir respektvoll zu. Sie räumten meinen Sieg über diese böse Kreatur namens Dus Astro ein. Das einzige Verlangen dieser Sternenfresserin bestand darin, Tod und Pestilenz zu verbreiten. Da sie anerkannten, dass ich London 1666 retten wollte, durfte ich mein innerstes Anliegen vortragen, das Blut des Hasses aufzuhalten. Ihr Primas versprach mir eine Antwort. Diese bestand nur aus einem Namen, die Träne der Engel. Ihm zufolge vermag dieses uralte Rezept alles zu heilen. Es kann jede in der Finsternis entglittene Seele läutern und mein Blut reinigen. Gepriesen sei der Herr. Seit über 100 Jahren bin ich auf der Suche nach einem Heilmittel für das Blut des Hasses. Aber jetzt habe ich es vielleicht gefunden. Bald wird die Wut ein Ende haben. Bald kann ich das von mir begangene Unrecht wieder gut machen und meinen Fehler berichtigen. Jetzt muss ich nur noch die nötigen Zutaten für den Trank beschaffen, um ihn zubereiten zu können. Blut aus dem reinsten Herzen, gemischt mit dem Blut eines Königs. Solch seltene Zutaten zu finden, bereiten mir nicht die größte Sorge, denn die Zeit arbeitet für mich. Jetzt muss ich mal kurz...
Blood of a pure heart, garlic, blood of a king. I don't understand.
Weil sonst kann ich nicht scrollen hier. Solch seltene Zutaten zu finden, bereiten mir nicht die größte Sorge, denn die Zeit arbeitet für mich. Der letzte Teil ängstigt mich, reine Knoblauchessenz. Ich fürchte, dass es wortwörtlich höllisch schmerzen wird, wenn ich das Gegenmittel trinke. Aber wenn das der Preis ist, den ich zahlen muss, um meine Seele zu läutern, um meine Fehler zu kurieren, bin ich willens, diesen qualvollen Schmerz zu ertragen. Das Blut eines Königs haben die auf jeden Fall.
Perhaps this is what McCullum drank. I had better keep that in mind. It's locked, all right.
Der hat ja die ganze Zeit sowas getrunken. Ich habe auch noch nicht alle Sammelobjekte gefunden.
Edgar. Edgar, can you hear me?
Jonathan, is it really you?
Easy. Easy. Save your strength. I'm getting you out of here.
Don't try to spare me. As a physician, I know all too well when it's too late. Punctured lung, broken ribs, and internal bleeding. An accurate diagnosis, wouldn't you say?
Edgar, what happened?
They wanted me to confess. Beat me black and blue.
Jeffrey McCullum ambushed me at the Pembroke Hospital. He was convinced you and I were responsible for the Skal epidemic.
I never imagined that self-righteous fanatic would dare to attack us in the open. What became of him?
To prove him wrong, I let him go.
Really? You sure that was the wisest course of action?
Time will tell. The most intriguing part of his accusation was that you and I were the pawns of some ancient vampire.
William Marshall. Yes, they tortured me to make me confess the same nonsense.
I think you're hiding something, Edgar.
What do you mean?
William Marshall, for example. You speak of him as if you know him. How is that?
Jonathan, I cannot say I'm ready for another round of questions.
Why would the Guard of Priwen believe you and I created the vampire epidemic?
Maybe due to our profession? Because I offered you shelter in my hospital.
What can you tell me about William Marshall?
Not much. History paints the story he was the greatest knight who ever lived. Amongst the immortals, he had a yet greater legend.
Why is the Guard of Priwen so obsessed with him?
He was the only ancient vampire to escape the first great hunt launched by the Guard of Priwen in 1854. They believe he's an evil creature plotting his return.
Why would he deserve such a reputation?
I cannot say. The Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole has next to no intelligence on him. All I know is that he's supposed to be the oldest of all the British vampires.
While investigating the epidemic, I read some of McCullum's findings. I think you have some explaining to do.
I have nothing to hide, Jonathan. Nothing at all.
Do you know Doris Fletcher's real name?
No, I'm afraid not.
Her real name was Doris Jones. She was the daughter of Harriet Jones.
What do you want me to say, Jonathan?
Do you remember when we suspected Sean Hampton of killing Harriet Jones?
Yes. The terrible episode that came as a shock to us all.
Harriet Jones faked her own death. When I found her in the sewers, she confessed she wanted everybody to pay for what happened to her.
That woman was extremely bitter, full of hatred and festering anger.
Doris Fletcher visited her mother at the Pembroke Hospital. That's how she first got infected.
I know nothing about that. Miss Fletcher once came to visit the sick. That is all I know.
No, Edgar, there is more. Doris Fletcher was Harriet Jones's daughter. They exhibited the same symptoms: blind hate and strong physical mutation.
What does this sad story have to do with us?
Do you know where we are? Doris Fletcher's theater. This is where that hateful creature plotted to spread the epidemic across London.
I only briefly met Miss Fletcher once when she visited the Pembroke Hospital. You say it was to see her mother. She seemed like such a sweet and graceful woman.
My point exactly. The disease turned her into a bitter soul, driven by vengeance just like her mother. A symptom of all the infected patients.
Certain diseases are known to produce similar effects. Rabies, for example. And rabies is not the devil at work.
Come on, Edgar. Don't you see the pattern here? The epidemic, the link between Doris and Harriet, the suspicion of McCullum?
How could I? I never saw Harriet Jones again after she fled the hospital.
Boah, Edgar, jetzt sag die Wahrheit.
Doris and Harriet shared more than a hidden family bond. They were the embodiment of the epidemic and are linked to the Pembroke Hospital. Come on, Edgar, this is no coincidence.
I swear I'm at a complete loss. All I did was administer vampire blood to cure old Harriet. There was no evil plan, no diabolical plot.
You did what?
I tested the regenerating and healing properties of vampire blood on Harriet Jones. My only intention was to find the cure for influenza, I swear.
Whose blood did you use? William Marshall's? Mine?
Lady Ashbury's. While transfusing her with human blood, humanely appeasing her hunger, I also kept samples of her blood for my research.
You used her blood on Harriet Jones? My God, Edgar, that's unethical. You betrayed 2 of your patients at the same time.
I made a mistake. But what is science if not trial and error? We both know it, Jonathan, we both know it.
What a poor justification for your morbid fascination and thirst for glory.
You have worked beside me. You saw what I'm doing at Pembroke Hospital. Jonathan, you know I'm not an evil soul. Just another victim of this tragedy.
Bah. Ach, das ist so scheiße. Aussaugen kann ich ihn eh nicht. Sterben lassen ist auch irgendwo... Nein, unmenschlich ist es nicht. Als Vampir geht es ihm ja noch schlechter. Ich muss mal kurz in mich selbst gehen. Ja, ich habe auch einen Wichser verwandelt. Es kann nicht genug Wichser geben als Vampire.
No, Edgar, you are not going to die. Unless you want to.
What do you mean?
I can save you, Edgar. I can turn your broken body into one like mine.
You truly would? After all I've done, after all that's been said, you would offer me this gift?
I have no way of knowing which punishment would be worse, Edgar. But it is not for me to decide. So?
Oh, please, Jonathan, please. I beg you. This is what I've always wanted. This is what I've always searched for.
Very well, then. Prepare to die and be reborn. To face an eternity of guilt.
I'm ready. Oh, indeed, I am ready.
Enough!
Tja, so sieht's erstmal aus. Dafür, dass ich am Anfang gesagt habe, ich fühle mich nicht bereit, irgendwen in einen Vampir zu verwandeln. Also, der Charakter letztendlich, mache ich das ganz schön häufig inzwischen. Aber wahrscheinlich ist es wirklich eine größere Strafe, weiterzuleben als Vampir. Welche Errungenschaft habe ich bekommen? Bestimme Swansea Schicksal. Habe ich als Archiv mitbekommen. Also die normale Story Das normale Story-Achievement. Kann ich denn diesmal jetzt hier raus aus dem Fluchtweg? Ja, jetzt ist er offen. Also das Krankenhaus wird ja nicht mehr leiten als Vampir.
So Harriet Jones became the original carrier when Edgar gave her vampire blood. I must tell Elizabeth.
Look at me! Die, vermin!
Wenn ich jetzt einfach sage, die Richtung für dieses dämliche Heft. Jetzt gehe ich rein, jetzt verschwindet das ja.
It's a leech! Kill it! Look at it! Vicious bugger!
Hä, warum verschwindet das diesmal nicht? Ah, jetzt verschwindet es. Ah, lass mich mal mit dem Typen hier reden.
Good evening.
I may have a look.
Ah, nee, der hat das aber auch nicht. Ich dachte, vielleicht hat der das Heft zum Verkauf.
I cannot enter.
It's always been your house, Dad, not mine.
Komm, heim will ich eben noch.
Can I have... I must...
Auch wenn du ganz schön fertig bist. Nicht das... Ah, vielleicht war das Ding im Escaron Club. Da komme ich ja eh nicht mehr ran gerade. Gehen wir zuerst mal zu meiner Liebsten. Dessen Blut missbraucht wurde und einfach irgendwelchen Menschen gegeben wurde.
This is not the place for you, sir.
Boah, meine eigene Markierung kann ich auch nicht sehen.
Are you deaf? Bloody monster!
Hat er gerade wirklich gefragt, ob ich tot bin? Vielleicht ein bisschen. Ach, er hat gesagt, are you deaf? Was heißt, ob ich taub bin. Ich habe erst verstanden, are you dead? Oh, es gibt keine Sequenz. Ich kriege jetzt eigentlich mein Bild. was sie für mich gezeichnet hat. Ja.
What good fortune brings you back to me, Jonathan? What is it, my dear?
Alter, die malt mit einem Eimer
I'm afraid
rote
it's
Farbe.
bad news, Elizabeth. The worst, actually.
Please, speak up.
Edgar is no longer in McCullum's grasp. I resolved that matter.
Where is our good friend now? Is he well?
Of a sort. His injuries were mortal. I had no choice but to make him one of us. To save him. Or to punish him.
To punish him? I fail to understand. And what is the source of this cold tone in your voice?
Edgar Swansea was responsible for the Skal epidemic, Elizabeth. It was he who unleashed the deadly scourge upon London.
What? Are you certain? This is the most terrible accusation of all.
He confessed everything to me. He sought to cure the disease, to exploit vampire blood to stop the epidemic. But he unwittingly gave birth to a catastrophe.
All those poor victims. How could he do it? What happened?
Edgar's behavior was beyond lunacy. He had neither the discipline, knowledge, nor the proper facilities to conduct blood experiments.
I must say I'm shocked, Jonathan. Who would have thought it? And the poor patient. Let me guess. It was Harriet Jones, was it not?
Yes. That explains how Doris Fletcher was infected, and how she became an Icor. She secretly visited her mother at Pembroke.
Then we have no choice. We must act quickly, Jonathan. We must return to the sewers and put an end to the threat poor Harriet embodies.
I have one more matter to discuss with you. Harriet Jones was the primary case, but do you know what a healthy carrier is?
There is a tone in your voice that frightens me, Jonathan. What are you trying to say?
It was your blood Edgar used for his experiment on Harriet Jones.
What? No. No. This can't be. Oh.
Elizabeth, are you all right?
No, I have to go.
What do you mean?
Leave me alone. Save the city, Jonathan. Save what can be saved.
Elizabeth, I need answers. Why did your blood
Stay
cause
away
this?
from me. Please. I swear I never was your
Wait!
enemy.
No! Elizabeth!
Und sie hat wirklich nur mit einem Eimer roter Farbe gemalt. Wer kommt denn auf so eine Scheiße? Was wollt die machen? Eine rote Grundierung?
It's locked.
Warum macht die jetzt eigentlich so einen Aufstand? Die konnte das doch nicht wissen.
Now would be a good time to blend the recipe Marshall used when he fought the disaster. I think I know where to find what I need.
Wir wissen, es ist ja wirklich das Blut des Marschalls, also können wir das als erstes holen. Da kommen wir auch gerade am sichersten hin, ohne dass wir Gegnern begegnen.
Whose blood could be purer than that of William Marshall? Lord Redgrave will have to spare me a drop.
Ach. Was?
The night is so peaceful. I understand exactly what that poet meant the other night.
Ich hab's kaputt gemacht.
Good evening, Miss Teasdale.
Can I help you, Dr. Reed?
Do you need my medical attention, miss?
I don't need your help specifically. I can assure you there are many competent doctors around.
I will see you later. Goodbye, Miss Teasdale. And be careful. Until we meet again.
Why can't I forgive you, Father?
Irgendwas stimmt hier nicht. Dieses Laden war merkwürdig.
Welcome back, Dr. Reed.
Nicht, dass ich alle hier umnieten muss. Ach, guck mal, wer da ist.
Welcome back, my immortal peer. Let me look at you with my piercing new eyes.
Good evening, Aloysius. How do you feel?
Mr. Dawson to you. You may be my maker, and I thank you for that. But we must not forget etiquette.
Forgive me, sir.
You're forgiven, my dear doctor. And if you need anything, even the most expensive items to help you in your mission, you just have to ask. I'll be glad to sell you some of the rarest goods I own.
Ach, krass.
How is the sanitary situation in the city?
People keep on getting sick despite my quarantine, it seems. Perhaps we should go one step further. Maybe public denunciation and arrest.
What is the situation in the club?
Lord Redgrave has just informed me that we keep on fighting the Garda Prewen. I can't wait to test my new physical abilities against mortals.
The vampire hunters are dangerous, sir. They may be mortals, but they are trained and quite efficient, believe me.
Bah! Nonsense! How could they resist me, now that I can endure almost anything? I feel victory in my veins, thanks to you.
Ach, du bist so am Arsch, ey. Wenn du gegen die kämpfst, bist du schon tot.
Is Lord Redgrave fighting too?
Yes, I've heard he's out every night, hunting the hunters. He's showing us all how things are done when true English blood feels endangered.
What is your plan, if I may ask? Not for the city, but for your own future.
My future and the future of this city are one, Dr. Reed. Step by step, London will soon be the center of the greatest empire ever.
Would it be insolent to ask what the first step will be?
I have ordered the assassination of my entire family to ensure I'm the sole heir to my fortune. I can't take the risk of facing another immortal Dawson.
What the fuck? Ich glaube, sein Plan ist, aus der Europäischen Gemeinschaft auszutreten.
When will that be achieved?
We should gain total control of Europe and the Western colonies, and aim to put an immortal king on the throne within a century.
Are you already planning a coup?
Of course not! My only interest is in the protection of the crown. I want to turn the legitimate king or queen into a powerful echo.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Dawson. You've lived a long life and have surely met some interesting and influential people.
Sod off! I don't reveal my life to someone I hardly know, whether he be my maker or not.
I beg your pardon.
You heard me. And remember, I already wear a protective amulet against your mental intrusions, Dr. Reed. I've studied your species for decades.
How do you feel since your return?
I think I may have acquired and read every forbidden document about vampires and how it feels to be an immortal. I even own a copy of the Blood Bible, but nothing compares to what I know now.
What is this Blood Bible?
It's supposedly the only documented evidence that an immortal attended the Last Supper. You should read it, if you ever find it.
What have you discovered?
That mortals are but puppets in our hands. I can sense a rat running in our attic right now. Nothing can stop me doing precisely what I want.
Toller Typ.
I may need
Zeig mir mal, was für Equipment du hast. Und so geil ist dein Equipment gar nicht. Ein paar Teile von guten Griffen und so weiter. Und du siehst kranker aus als vorher, mein Freund. Das kommt noch dazu.
I heard the guard of Prewin is about to strike us. We should go when we can.
Ach, unten ist der Lord. Na? Ich würde aber noch schauen, ob vielleicht hier das Comic sich versteckt in dem Gebäude. Ups.
Yes, Doctor.
Tut mir leid, ich habe nicht erkannt, dass du das bist. Ich dachte, da läuft eine Mumie und wollte mich mal mit der Mumie unterhalten.
Don't you see we're trapped? What if McCullum decides to launch a full-scale attack against the club?
Da geht's ja raus. Aber es scheint so, als wenn hier nichts ist. Tja, so viel Papier und nichts, was ich brauche. Ich weiß, da ist er, mit dem ich reden muss, aber ganz cool. Ach nee, runter müssen wir nicht. Alles gut.
Good evening, Lord Redgrave.
Welcome, Lancebearer. To what do we owe this pleasure?
I've located the true origin of the epidemic, and I'm about to end it.
Good. We've held out thus far, but the time has come to put an end to this crisis. Tell me, what do you need?
The blood of William Marshall.
The blood of William Marshall? Of my maker? Are you mad? This blood is the purest of all. My maker proffered it to me on the battlefield. I cannot hand it to you.
Stop this farce. Marshall never was your maker. I have no idea how you acquired his blood, but I need it now.
I see. Well, in that case, given the gravity of the situation, I suppose I can spare you a drop.
Thank you, my lord.
Now go, Lancebearer. Craft a legend to be sung to Ascalon recruits for the ages to come.
Das war einfach. Und er hat es ziemlich locker genommen, dass ich weiß, dass er kein Abkommen von ihm ist.